What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you from the Texas winter storm of 2023. Clearly, we're going to keep doing this every year with these storms. If you could drop your city and state in the chat, I know so many of you are looking for ways to increase your income, to bring more money to your pockets. And I understand some of you like, Eric, I don't want to start a whole business. I'm a school teacher, I'm a nurse, I like what I do, but I'm looking for ways to increase my revenue. I think I got something for you here. So, if you guys drop your city and state in the chat, I'll be appreciated. And can I introduce my wonderful guest to you guys? This is Felix out here traveling the world, Mr. I Am Giant Lifestyle. Introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Well, thank you again, Erica, for bringing me on your channel. My name is Felix Wisniewski. I'm based out of New Jersey, and I'm pretty much a serial entrepreneur, but I got my start in entrepreneurship by doing a business called buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities, also known as buying and reselling diabetic testing supplies. And, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19. I'm now 28, and I'm dabbled in a bunch of different industries, such as, I have a YouTube channel, I have some real estate, I do the medical commodities business, and I do a few other businesses. And, just over the past few years, I started to show a few other people how to do the business of buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities or diabetic testing supplies. And, it's a business that I stand strong behind because it's a pretty simple concept. It does take work. Don't be fooled that by anybody telling you could start a business that doesn't take any work, but it does take some work. But, it's pretty simple. It's, has some pretty good profit margins, and I'm big into businesses that are recurring. So these people that sell us these diabetic supplies, they usually come back, within a month, 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, and sell us their diabetic testing supplies. So hopefully I could share some game and some wisdom on your audience. And again, I appreciate you having me on your channel once again. I know we did a few videos in the past, but it's been a few months.
We get new people every day, man. This channel gets about 700 new people a day. So I always want to thank you guys for joining the channel, watching the channel, commenting. We literally had 100,000 views last month, and 80,000 of you were not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hey, definitely take some notes while you're here. So here's the thing, Felix. So many people are like, man, I just need an extra 500 bucks. And I always tell people the other side of money is people, right? Whether it's service, whether it's talking to people, other side of money is people. People have problems and they need solutions.
Yeah.
When it comes to medical commodities, what made you open your eyes to diabetic test strip? Did you see the signs on the side of the road? Was somebody telling you of this? How did you learn about it?
Yeah, I kind of just stumbled into it. I was doing real estate wholesaling, and I'm sure anybody who knows a little bit about entrepreneurship, they've all heard about real estate wholesaling. You find a motivated seller, you link it up with a buyer, and you take a middleman fee. I was doing that, and I did a deal, and it's a good business model. I'm into real estate now, but more on like the buy and hold side. And real estate wholesaling is good, but the one thing that I think people get fooled up on is real estate wholesaling takes time. I mean, my first deal took me from the time I figured out about it to the day I went and got my check. It took me like 11 months. So I'm not saying you can't go out there and do a deal in 30 days. I'm sure you can. I know people have, but it's not as easy as people make it seem. It takes work. That's like I said, with this business, it's easy. It's a simple concept, but you do have to hustle. And I was doing real estate wholesaling, and I was doing like a JV deal where another real estate wholesaler and I were basically putting a deal together, and it was about to be a huge deal. We're going to split it 50-50. Like we're talking like 60, 70,000 assignment fee.
You're counting the dollars.
Yeah, that's a big mistake that I learned early in business and entrepreneurship. You don't count the money until you have it like in your bank account. And I was counting on it, and it got right to the closing table, even past like title inspection, which was crazy. And it passed everything. Actually getting a call, 1 second. And it passed everything, and it literally closed. It didn't close. And the other guy was basically doing the medical commodities business. I offered to pay him. I offered to work for him, and he didn't want to really have any of that. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out. It took me like 6-7 months to figure out, what boxes to buy, what test strips you can buy, what test strips you can't buy. But I figured it out, and that's, where I went on to do my first 6 figures by the age of 21. But then, I kind of stepped away from real estate wholesaling and just went full on with the medical commodities business. And then eventually, once I got my capital up, and that, I could wait 2-3 months for a wholesale deal, or I could go buy a fix and flip, because wholesaling is good. And I know some people even have full on wholesaling businesses, but I think wholesaling is kind of good to get your money up.
Yeah.
And then go into something that maybe can provide rental income, because I travel a lot. Like right now I'm in Colombia, and I do that because I have rental units, and I hate the cold. So that's kind of, I never really planned to get into it. I didn't know anything about it. There was no course back then. That was like 2015, 2016. There was nobody giving out game on it. But that's how I got into it. And then when I realized the power of it, I said, hey, wait, hold up. I can make some serious money with this. And that's kind of how I transition. I still do it to this day, but I do show some other people, and I have a few students who've made multiple six figures. But I like it because it's a business that, like I said, has a recurring factor. And I had no intention to get into it. But I just got into it because it kind of found me. I didn't find it.
And so the big thing people always wonder is like, man, how can I run this? How can I run this and keep my regular 9 to 5 job? And one of the best things I think is you're driving in traffic, you're going home in the afternoons, you look to your right at the light stop, and there's a stop sign, there's a pole, diabetic testing strips. And
Yeah.
I go, how many millions of people or hundreds of thousands drive by that same sign every day? Or someone who knows a grandma, who knows an uncle, who knows a cousin who has diabetes or pre-diabetes, or they got assigned all this stuff before they lost weight, and the stuff is just going to sit there. They're not going to use it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's one in 10 people. I'm not exactly sure how
Mm-hmm.
many Americans are in America now, but 1 in 10 people, or there's like 30 million people in America that have diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's massive. And at the same time, I don't know how to say the word, but I understand, like, it's not really like, think about it. We're making money off people who have diabetes. In a way, it kind of sounds messed up, but it's just a part of the market and it's out there. So it's like, I look at either you're going to take advantage of it, or other people are going to go out there. And I know people who make 7 figures with this, but there's people that you can make, if you're looking to make an extra couple $100 a week or a couple extra $1,000 a month, that's totally possible. So, but yeah, there's millions of people. My father's a diabetic. I'm sure everybody knows at least one diabetic in their family.
And here's the thing, you guys. A lot of times it's just solving problems for people that are near you, people that you know, right? Your grandma's got a whole living room full of old boxes. She ain't never going to use them. They're just sitting there, right? Or a cousin or a friend. I always tell people, if you write a list of 100 people you know loosely or somewhat loosely know, out of that 100, there's going to be 10 to 20 that know somebody,
Oh yeah,
right? It's
every
like the rule of 1,000 or rule of 6. I can't remember the exact number. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I may not know somebody, but I know somebody, right? Right? Or I know a cousin that knows somebody. And most people want cash. They want a
Mhm.
little bit of petty cash. So when you first started this, did you realize people did they have a particular way they wanted to receive money from you? Is there a particular way you had to start it?
I mean, most people want cash, but some people will want to get paid on like Zelle or Cash App. But
Hmm.
it's a good feeling. Like, I was just actually talking to one of my friends who does this down in Tampa, older gentleman, does about 9 to 10,000 a month in profit, and he's been doing it for about 2.5 years. And sometimes people be like, they got these extra test strips, and everybody's in different financial situations. They'll be like, hey, I'm not using these test strips anyway. I have 10 extra boxes, and I really need to pay my phone bill. And they're doing me a service because they're giving me boxes that I know and have information and have end buyers where I could go and flip them for double or triple what I paid for them. And then I'm giving money to people because they have the product I need, and I'm helping them be able to pay their phone bill or pay their electric bill or pay an extra few dollars that they need towards something. So it's like a win-win. But most people, we pay them in cash. Some people want to get paid on PayPal or Cash App or Zelle, which is no problem. But however they want to get paid, we make it work so we can, like I said, it's all about the beautiful thing about this business that I love and why I keep doing it and why I'll continue to do it is the repeat factor.
Hmm.
Most, I would say 8 out of 10 people who have these supplies come back in 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, maybe 10 weeks, 3 months, and say, hey, I have 8 more boxes, 10 more boxes. Can I sell them to you? And yeah, sure, we'll pay you for them, no problem.
So when people want to come now, listen, you guys, he's got a whole course. He's got a whole Facebook group. They are there helping each other. How big is the Facebook group now? Per
There's
se.
a couple. There's a couple thousand people in there.
Hmm.
But I mean, like I just had a guy tell me yesterday. Let me see if I could actually pull it up on my phone. Let me see if I could pull it up on my phone. He said he started in April, and he's made 20K. Let me see if I could screenshot it. I don't want to show his name, but yeah. So I'll just show you real quick, just so you could see. But let's see. And
D Nice says she has boxes now.
yeah,
D Nice, do you need to sell some boxes?
yeah. So it said, like, you can see, like, it says right here, thanks, bro, killed it, hit 20K by the revenue last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the biggest thing with this though is, it's such a simple concept. Most people just don't take action, and
Right.
if you take action, like I said, I think a lot of people get fooled on the internet that business is simple, or it's just a snap of a finger. Every business takes work. Every business
Yep.
you have to go out there, and you might not make money month one. You might not make money month two. You might
Right.
not make money month three. But I don't think that's a reason to stop. So there's a lot of people in there. We just started something called like an inner circle group,
Mm-hmm.
where we have like live calls, like, in addition to the course that we have like monthly live calls. So, just kind of just showing people the game, because if you take advantage of this business like I did and a lot of people do, you can make some, so like I said, I know people who make 7 figures with it. I know some people who make a couple thousand a month. It really depends what level you want to take it to.
The best part I like about what you talked about, and also that the fact that you have a business that's in a whole other state while you're traveling the world, the biggest thing was that you have 2 employees
Yeah,
that make the process simpler. And sometimes people hear stuff like, "Oh, diabetic testing strips." Oh, I don't know. It's a big market, you guys.
massive.
Huge market, and we've all become accustomed because of the past 2 years to like somebody come to me, right? And we have a lot of people that are like, "Oh yeah, you can come pick up the diabetic testing strips from me." Right? They're not going to bring them to your office. You can just go pick them up. But that's the nature of a lot of stuff. Uber Eats, Instacart, all this stuff is kind of train people. Hey, somebody will come to me and give me a solution.
Yeah,
So, again, there's a million ways to market. You may not do bandit size, but I can tell you every day I go on Facebook Marketplace and I'm just surprised at what's on there. Motorcycle, houses, cars. You can probably put any kind of marketing out there and get people in. So,
yeah. I give people like 8 or 9 different marketing strategies, but there's people, I know the guy that I was down in Tampa with.
mm-hmm.
I never even He came up with this own idea. He wrapped his car that says, cash for diabetic test strips,
Ooh, yeah.
free market. So I tell people, any way that you could think to market, you don't have to be good with a computer. What am I, like Gen X or Gen Z? We're supposed to be like tech geniuses, and I'm not even that good on a computer. So I'm a big offline marketing guy. Like you said, I have 2 of my childhood friends that when I'm not in New Jersey, they kind of help me run it. But you don't have to you don't need a marketing degree. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need anything fancy to know how to put, cash for diabetic supplies or whatever your wording is going to be to attract people who have extra diabetic supplies. Because I don't care what you're looking to buy. You tell people you have cash for you, and they see a sign that says cash, people are going to read that sign.
Oh, for sure. Listen, cash for junk cars, cash for this, cash for that. I mean, you name it. I've seen the signs. I respect the bandit signs because there's somebody out there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so funny. D said, I heard about this more than 2 years ago, but I never took action because I thought it was some type of scam or I could get in trouble for reselling it. No, D.
No,
No.
no. If you go on Google and type in cash for diabetic test strips,
It's
there's
everywhere.
dollar companies and big time companies, and it's not, and it would be pretty, it's the one thing I will say, I understand when people say, "Oh, is it illegal?" because it kind of sounds like a little fishy in a way. I guess I
Hmm.
could, but why would I? It would be fools to talk about something on the internet that's illegal,
It
because
is exactly.
everybody on the internet is, watching everybody. So, it's 100% legit. It's 100% legal to sell your diabetic testing strips.
For sure, for sure. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna clear off. I was gonna share my screen, but I realized it's putting my name and stuff in there. Hold on, cover this out. Get this out of there. Hold on a second, y'all. Man. Okay, now I can share my screen. I think. Uh, oh gosh. Okay. Maybe we're gonna maybe do it. Hold on, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. 1 second, you guys. You try to do something smooth transition and it just don't work. Okay, so here you guys. This is if you click the link that I've been putting inside the chat, this is what you're gonna see. And again, you get Mr. Felix out there giving you great video information packs. But then also you can fill out the form here and put your email address, your phone number, and get some more information. It's simple. You can do it. I mean, it literally is one of those things where sometimes people share a business. You're like, oh, no way. Right. Remember when people were talking about the pallet business? Everybody's like, oh, no way you can make money off pallets. But when you actually open your eyes, you start seeing pallets everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you open your eyes, you start seeing diabetic testing strips, more sounds of it everywhere. So if I were you guys, I would hop in there, grab that free info from him. But it's really a great opportunity for you guys to learn how to do something that can bring in extra money. Because 9 times out of 10, if I say, hey, what if it brought you in 1,000 a month? A
Yeah.
1,000 a month times 12 months, because you got reoccurring people, is 12 grand. Who couldn't use an extra 12 grand a year? Right?
Anybody, even people who are doing it, no matter what level of the spectrum of finances you're at, I think everybody could use an extra 1,000. An extra 1,000 can go far.
Yeah. I mean, especially after everybody complains about them egg prices. Every day I come online, the eggs and the this and the chicken. And I'm like, you guys, there's somebody who's sitting there with those diabetic test boxes sitting up at their house thinking, how can I get, I'm cluttered, it's junky in here. Hey, I got some cash for you. Oh, great. You can have this. Help me declutter my house. It's a lot of ways to go about this.
They're going to either throw them out or let them get expired. So, we're doing people a service. And, most people just get extras. Like, you don't need to know people in your family. But just for example, my father, he gets like 15 boxes every single month. That means he has to test his blood sugar like 50 times a day, which is just impossible. And he needs like 3 or 4 boxes. In the beginning, I used to buy them from him, but now he just gives them to me. I take them, I sell them, and we split the profit. And, it's just like there's millions of people out there like that. So, if you have the information, you know what to do, what to say, what to pay, what to buy, what to look for, and then who to sell them to, because I give you the buyers that I sell them to, then, it's like a no-brainer. You can make money. You just got to put in the work. Doesn't really matter where you're located. You just got to put in the work.
So when they join the Facebook group, they've got the buyer list. They know who to sell it to. Do you give them some kind of business tips or ways to talk to people on the phone?
Yeah, the course is like 3 hours, and then I give you my personal phone number. If you got any questions, you just give me a call, shoot me a text. I'm pretty readily available. The real reason I made the course is because the business changed my life. Like, I've been doing this business since like I discovered it in 2015, really got it off the ground in 2016, and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, coming up on 8 years. So, this business changed my life. It just goes like that. It's crazy how fast
time will fly either way, you guys. I really mean this. Like, you'll start an ideal. I mean, I've been on YouTube a long time, and it's just like clockwork. And a lot of old videos make money, which is interesting at this point in the journey. But I want you guys to understand, like, man, I started with a whiteboard in an office somewhere, and I started with videos with an old cell phone. Some of those videos got to come down, but you have to understand it's just continuation, right? Because if people start knowing you, it's like, oh yeah, D Nice buys medical strips. They're going to tell their friends. They're not the only person with diabetes in their group of friends. It just usually is like that, kind of weirdly enough.
Yeah, what I do actually give referrals. So a lot of my clients, I have some clients I've been buying from years, but I tell them, hey, refer, your sister, your brother, your mother, your cousin, your coworker, and I'll take care of you guys. So it's quickly how fast. I remember I heard somebody say, like, when there's like a negative review, people when you have a bad experience with a company, you'll leave a review quickly.
Yeah.
But when you have a good experience with a company, you might just forget about it and be happy you got the good experience. But when you can make money with a company, when you can make money or something like that, I forgot how to do it. The quotes went, but you'll tell everybody, hey, you have test strips. Well, so and so is D Nice is paying, cash for your test strips or your diabetic supplies. So the word gets around quick, especially if you're doing good business and you're paying people fairly. The word spreads pretty quick.
When people feel like they got to win, they got to share it. Like, oh man, I got this done. When we were painting houses, it was like that. We put the sign out front, and then the neighbors were like, oh, well, what's the price? And can we see it? And it's just word of mouth. So again, when people have a good experience with you guys, it really helps.
That's the best marketing, I think, word of mouth. If you get people talking.
So over the years, learning how to talk to people, learning how to work with people, putting people in your groups, training them, what are some of the best lessons you can give us for this year?
Really just, find a plan, find like a vehicle, learn, and then take action. You got to find a vehicle. I think it's good to do research. That's why I have that link that I have where I share some information, kind of go over the business and how you can do it. And you could even piece it together without the training. The training is just kind of like a direct cut and dry plan on how you can do it. But you got to find a vehicle, whether it's this, whether it's pallets, whether it's something on the internet. You got to find a vehicle. You don't have to invest, but it's either time or money. You're either going to use your money to get where you want to go, or you're going to use your time, and then you got to take action and don't quit until you get to your goal. I remember Nasser, Nasser, the real estate guru. He said, this is actually how I, kind of connected with him. I watched his YouTube videos when I first was discovering real estate wholesaling. And he said, focus stands for follow one course until successful. So if you decide to do this, and typically I tell people always ask, which is a valid question, like, Felix, how much can I make or expect to make month one? Great question. Typically month one, somewhere between like 500 and like 1,500 a month. Month two, or by day 60, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500. And then month three, or by day 90, somewhere between 25 or 3,500. But if that doesn't happen, and by month three, you're maybe just making your first $200 or $300, don't stop, keep going. But so many people say, oh, this doesn't work, let me go to something else. And they learn about something else, 2 or 3 months of doing that, they don't see the results they want, they quit and go try something else. At very least, get your money back. At very least, break even. But don't start something, don't get the results. Because for me personally, and I don't know how anybody else can relate, I don't know if you can relate, Ericka, everything I've ever tried, it always takes forever. I wanted to do YouTube. It took me 4 years to get 2,000 subs. Then I went from 2,000 to 50,000 in 2 years, or like 20 months. I wanted to do real estate. It took me almost a year to do my first deal. I wanted to do fix and flips. It took me a year to do my first fix and flip successfully. So just be consistent, be persistent, and don't quit. When it doesn't happen right away, keep going. But make sure you find a plan and you follow that plan, and either you're going to pay to get there or you're going to use your time to get there.
Man, I keep trying to get people to know, like, I try not to start things unless I really want to contribute a whole year to 2 years to the project. And when I say that, people are like, oh, 2 years. I'm like, you're going to work on your job all this time. Same thing with college, like the whole nurse scam that just came out of Florida. Like, I was laughing because I was like, the time they spent giving these people $15,000, the hospital would have paid their school for them. They could have got that money back. They could have got cheaper classes. All that stuff is true. They said they love that. Great stuff. Got to pay your dues. Yes, you guys. Exactly. There's got to be some sacrifice, right?
I just paid 10,000. I'm learning like a new skill set, and that's one thing I'm not going to even talk about what it is, just more a business skill set. I don't ever tell my plans until I, make them come to like real life. But you got to pay to play. I could, and it's somebody that I know, but that's what he charges. And he said, hey, it's 10,000. It was a $5,000 deposit, and then it was 1,000 a week. And it is what it is. So you just have to pay to play sometimes, or you could use your time. But I use money as a tool to get where I want to go. So if I got to pay 1,000 to, hey, talk to this person, or hey, I need to pay 500 to get into that room, or I got to pay 200 to go to that dinner, I'll do it because I know where I'm trying to go.
And have you ever heard of the force of average?
The force of average?
It basically, the average people you're around, it's going to pull you to that average. Whatever those 5 people are, that's what you're going to pull you to. And so I just started putting myself in particular rooms because I had a certain business ideal, and you just could see the difference in the conversation, the energy, the focus, hey, Ericka, did you do this week? And you're like, oh, most people don't talk to me about YouTube. Most people don't talk to me about my online business. But when I'm in that group of folks, it's not a discussion. It's like, did you do what you said you're going to do? Is this done? And this is why people like masterminds. And this is why I recommend Felix's group to you, not because, oh, Felix has the best program in the world. You can't beat this program. It's the force of average. If everybody in your group's like, hey, Adele, did you put out some signs this week? Did you call some people this week? Did you check up on diabetic testing strips? John's in there. Did you do this? Hey, have you tried this? They're giving you different ideals. They're talking to each other. That's how it kind of creates the force of average, that you getting an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month is no deal. It's no big deal. It's like, oh yeah, that's what we're all doing. And so you have to kind of get in rooms sometimes and be inside environments and Facebook groups that are positive, because I see people spend all day on Facebook crying about stuff, crying about schools, crying about kids. Why not be in Facebook groups that are actually pushing you to be accountable to yourself?
Yeah. I mean, you are who you hang around. If you hang around, 5 people complaining, making excuses, and taking no action, you'll be the 6th. And if you have a kind of like a negative environment, me personally, I don't tell nobody what I'm about to do unless they're on the same, thinking wave as me. If they're not on the same thinking wave, I love my family, but I don't tell my mother, my father, my cousins, because they don't even really understand, even after being an entrepreneur for years, they still don't understand what I do. So for me to try to break it down and tell them what I'm going to do, for them to tell me, hey, that's not going to work, or whatever, it's just not worth it. So I'd rather spend time by myself, because I know my thoughts, or read books, or listen to podcasts, or listen to audios, or talk to, like, one of my friends. That call I just had coming in was an entrepreneur friend that me and him talk on the phone all the time, and talk ideas, talk business, and stuff like that. So, to try to you gotta level up your mind, not go down. So if you go down, you already know who's good. People always try to pull you down, because they want to be, that people kind of feel offended when they see you passing them. So don't worry about those people. Just stay on your plan, your pathway, and go where you got to go. But just watch your circle of influence, because it could really impact you for the greater or the worse.
And the craziest part about she said she joined her chamber of commerce for 245. That's so small. Imagine how many people won't do it. Oh man, 245. Like, good. You just separate yourself from a bunch of people. A lot of stuff I try to get y'all to understand is the past week. Basically 2 weeks ago, I went to a real estate meetup right here in Austin, Texas, right? Because everybody's like, real estate, real estate, real estate. But if you're like, oh, Austin, and you go outside that thought, you think you have to go somewhere else to make money outside of your background, your home state. I literally went to this meetup and was like, mind blown, right? The people I ran into, the energy of the room, the people in there, it was so energizing that I was like, oh my God, let's go eat lunch, let's go talk. And a lot of times what happens is, getting around that force of average, the conversation there was cracking me up, because it's like the average person in the room had 2 or 3 rentals in Austin, Texas, in a central Texas market, where people saying it's just so expensive, we can't afford anything here. And some of these were average everyday working 9 to 5 folks.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's getting in the right rooms. And I say that all the time. I know I'll probably bore y'all to death saying that like 1,000 times since y'all watched this channel, but it's really the truth. Even some of the past videos Felix has done here, he's given great business information that I think you guys, if you didn't hear it, you missed that, but go back and watch some of those videos.
Yeah.
Let me see here. See if y'all had anything else. Y'all hit the like button. You can't do it alone. Sharing is good to level up. This is all true. Um, Felix, anything else you want us to talk to us about or leave us with? Is there any questions you guys have in the chat for him?
Maybe some
About,
questions. What I would say is, I just came on your page to share game. I think there's enough. I think there's enough money to go around this world for everybody. Sometimes when people figure out an idea, they want to say, oh, if I tell you how to do it, then it's going to create competition for me. I think competition is an excuse. Like it's an easy cop out. Oh, I see 5 other people in my city buying and reselling diabetic test strips. Well, then be the 6th. There's enough room for everybody. What I would say is, if you have any questions, you can. Somebody said, what's my Facebook? Well, if you click that link that Ericka shared, you can go there. The best way to get more information is to click that link, and you could just get more information, and you could do your due diligence. I also have a YouTube channel called Giant Lifestyle. I'm on Instagram at I am Giant Lifestyle. And that I would say, just click that link, and you could do your due diligence. I think before you get into any business, any venture, any idea, you should do your research. Like, if you're going to buy a property, you should probably go check out the property 3, 4, 5 times before you buy it. Run the comps, run the numbers, see if there's an oil tank. You should look for different things, not just jump into it. So, I don't tell people, hey, just, buy my I don't need people to buy my program. I just made the program to help other people. But it is what it is. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
if you guys actually go, here is his channel, Felix. I am Giant Lifestyle, and he is a giant, y'all. I met him in person. He could play in basketball right now overseas if he wanted to. He paid off his parents' house over a year ago. If you guys want to check that video out, got them hugging.
See, that's how fast time goes. That video was in 2021, I think, actually.
For sure. We use the same thumbnail guy, which is funny. He's very popular. But yeah, you can check out a lot of stuff here. You guys check out people's journey. Look out here 4 years ago. When people are consistent, they're showing you something 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Watch, see the journey. Watch where people started from.
Yeah.
See how they consistently do something, right? You're not going to be able to consistently do something 4, 5, 6, 7 years and not get ran out of a space if you're not doing people the right way, if you're not doing stuff up and up. But yeah, come check it out. Come look at it. I was also going to pull up his Instagram, but I don't think it's sharing it. Hold on, let me see if I click the button again. Oh, let me see if
You
it.
resell to medical companies. Who sets the market? Yeah, we resell to big name wholesaler slash pharmacies,
Mm-hmm.
and they have special licenses to put them back on the shelf. And it's just a big resell. I've literally had clients where I bought their supplies, and then one time I marked it. I marked it with a little marker, and then I sold it to the buyer I had, and then like maybe a month or so and some change later, I got that same box because otherwise people are just going to throw these boxes out. So we do it like that. Oh yeah, that's me. There you go.
This is him traveling in the world, which is pretty cool. Not Salt Bay. Salt Bay. Oh my goodness. But yeah, you guys again.
That guy, just like that guy's the perfect example of being an action taker. That guy was like a nobody
Mhm.
for 20 years, and then after 20 years he just exploded. So it was kind of crazy how like social media and the internet. After 20 years, he was
Mhm.
just chopping meat or cutting steak, and out of nowhere he blew up, and now he's like one of the most famous influencers on the internet.
Man, and the fact that I thought he was like 5'2", but really he's not, because you're a tall dude. So I'm like, he's a little bit taller than I thought. But yeah,
So
you guys, again, it's all determined by your choices. Again, you're gonna spend time on YouTube watching videos. Decide to watch some content that pushes you in the right direction. Again, he's got videos here. Again, 10K month profit resale, medical commodities, all that stuff. I'm gonna share it on my page, my community wall, so you guys can see it. But it's go link up on his free information.
yeah,
Again,
just click that first link, that the link, whatever link Ericka shares or
it's in
rewatch
the
it.
chat for sure.
And it's a pretty simple concept. You're just buying or reselling diabetic testing supplies, and it's not rocket science. Just tap in with information, and you can learn how to do it. If you have any questions, I'm real readily available on Instagram, or if you go on my channel, I even share my personal phone number, so like my personal number, so you could tap in with me there as well.
John said, "Are you still in the trucking business?"
Um, Me, no, but I kind of do like some silent investing, which I kind of
Mhm.
prefer, like just putting up the money with some trusted partners
For
and
sure.
going that way. But actually, me like setting up the contracts and dealing with the truck maintenance like I was in the past. No,
Hmm.
I'd rather just kind of put the money
Man,
up,
for
go like.
sure. I'd much rather be a quiet investor. He's got some good stuff on here, you guys. Don't overlook it. I like it. I like it. Again, I always go popular. Hit the popular. All right. The box truck. Boom.
Yeah, so there's a lot of I share a lot of I don't know everything. I just share what I knew, what I've
Hmm.
known, what I've done, and what I know works. I'm not going to sit and say I've done. If I've never done it, I'm not going to share it. Or if I don't know anybody who's done it, I'm
Right.
not going to share it. But this is a business I've been doing since 2015, 2016, and six figures pretty much every year since 26 or the end of 2016. So the business definitely works. You just have to work it and be patient.
Medical supplies. Yes, I work for an exporting company for non-medical supplies. Amazing. There you go. You guys know. Let me see what else. What else? All right, Felix. Was there any big things or big plans you had for this year, for
Um,
2023?
Probably just growing my YouTube channel, growing my online presence for my medical commodities business. I did it offline for 6 years, 7 years. So now I'm trying to buy nationwide and running ads and buying nationwide and kind of just growing that, and then just acquiring more real estate because I use the YouTube. I get a little check from YouTube every month, plus the medical commodities business. I take that and buy some real estate and really just build some passive income streams. So, if I want to take vacation or if I want to stay in a particular state, country, and really just go back to Jersey to kind of check on the businesses. Because, like I said, I'm a silent investor for a few different things. So just go back to Jersey when I need to, but don't always have to. So, yeah, that's about it. And again, I appreciate you bringing me on the channel.
You guys, please go check out Felix's channel. Also, click that link, absolutely free. Hit it up. You can find out more information. Felix is very giving. He does put his phone number out there. He does talk to folks. Listen, when he's not jet setting the world, he's out here breaking phone calls with folks. I love it. Uh, they said, shout out to Felix. Abundance, mind self, abundance, wealth. Yeah, there's a ton of money out here, you guys. There's millions of dollars out here for pretty much everybody. And I know people hate hearing that, but it's totally a mindset thing. Oh, I did want to get your feedback on some 20-year-old kid said, well, he's not a kid, but he said, yeah, if you don't have a Lambo in your 20s, you got to rethink your life. And I know people were like, oh, I hate this guy. And I'm like, you know what? He's just saying a mindset.
Yeah.
All the people he has a Lambo. And so it's normal to him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, maybe, yeah. I don't really have no comment, to be honest. That's what makes me happy because I don't know, me personally, when I had a lot of material possession things, which I don't anymore, I kind of sold a lot of them.
Yeah.
It didn't really make me happy. I had like a diamond chain with my logo on it. I had a bunch of designer clothes, and I think people, try to become successful so they can buy items.
Yep.
In my experience of buying items, it's like a rush, and once you achieve it, you don't really find long-term happiness. So, but I mean, having a Lambo is cool, but that thing is a hell of a liability. So unless you know how to turn that thing into an asset, whether on Turo or, being an influencer, have fun with that maintenance slash
the tires,
especially unless you bought it cash. If you're financing, that's at least a $2,000 a month payment. So I think it could be good. But I don't want to deal with it personally.
Yeah, it's one of those things that fall in the category of like people saying things out of context, which we can't get the full context because we're not in the room. But I just tell people, I'm like, I'd rather take a free month in Europe than a bunch of stuff. But people don't get that till they get there. So.
But I mean, listen, if you got a Lambo in your 20s, salute to you, because
for sure,
that's definitely an incredible accomplishment. But I drove a Lambo one time. I was way too big for it.
Oh yeah, you're super tall.
I could barely fit in it. And after my friend rented it for like the week because I was staying at his house in Arizona. And after the first day of driving it, I was like, it's not really that exciting. It was definitely fun, but it's not something it's not a daily driver. You can't drive it every day.
Yeah.
And you can't put nothing in it. So it's, but shout out to anybody that has a Lambo in the 20s. Salute to them for real.
So BIP, I would recommend you hit the links and sign up with him so you can get the free information. Because his question said, is there a set price per box, or do you just negotiate with people that have them?
We based off what the buyers pay. So the buyers have a price sheet. We know exactly how much the buyers are going to pay for each box before we even buy it. So we try to double or triple our money. If a box we know sells for $60, we'll try to get it for somewhere between 20 to 30 or 40 if they have a lot of boxes. I'll pay you in like 45 a box if I know they got 20 boxes, because 20 times 15, there's some serious profit. And then think that person's going to come back month after month after month to sell you more boxes. So it all really depends, to be honest. But we have a set price, and we have like a calculator where we know how much we're going to pay and how much we're going to profit on that box and on those products.
All right, you guys, man, I love it. Good information. I'm glad you built a whole business out of this. Your channel, your Instagram channel, your YouTube channel. I'm very proud of you getting them subscribers up. Go ahead and get that silver play button.
I'm coming for you. I know you got like 50,000 on you.
I've been stuck, and I know why I've been stuck. We spent some money talking to different consultants, so I'm gonna definitely hit them up.
14. I'm chasing you down, so we'll see.
Man, listen, I'm chasing 150. Because a couple years ago, they were just giving out 150 to everybody. So now I'm like, all right, give me my 150.
Yeah,
so
you'll be there by the end of the year for sure.
For sure. I hope so. We'll see how these set of ads run for March. I'm getting ready to hit up Grant Cardone's 10X. So, that's about to be insane. But the energy is always good.
Cool. I appreciate you having me on, Ericka. Thank you
again. For sure. Everybody definitely hit that link up. Go check out his Instagram. Go check out his YouTube channel. Put some good comments over there. I'll be sharing some of his videos this next couple of weeks in our community wall. Go hit those comments up. Put Classy Climber in there if you want. But definitely go check out his videos. Super informative and good. He gives good information. So, Felix, I hope you enjoy your day. I hope it's warm where you are, because it's freezing here. But
yes.
Have a great day. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.